Good afternoon, one and all. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and in honor of today's winner, yes, it was actually last night that he won, but I was able to finally get to this today. We have Boink the Clown, which has won once again the Video Response Wars. And he asked me to do a video review of his latest work, The Evil Mattress Part 2. And in honor of that, as you can plainly see, I have my little container of popcorn here and my drink. I know it's just water, but we'll live with that. Anyway, we have popcorn, we have water, so ladies and gentlemen, let's begin this review of The Evil Mattress Part 2. Alright. As you can see, I made some notes. Alright, now from what I can tell out of your Evil Mattress Part 2, you have 3 characters. The first one kind of reminded me of Ferris Bueller. So, if you were to do this kind of thing again, I would infuse your characters with real personalities, okay? Like I said, I think the first one should have been more like Ferris Bueller, okay? A cocky little kid, think he can get away with anything, so on and so forth, okay? Need to see your face more. Lots of facial expression, and I'll say this for a reason. One of my favorite books was the Dark Tower series by Stephen King, and the first line in that book was, "The man in black fled across the desert, and the gunslinger followed." Now, not only does that particular first sentence of that book tell you a lot of things, but it also forces you to ask a lot of questions. For instance, you now know there's a man in black, you know there's a gunslinger, they're going across the desert, but which desert? Why is the gunslinger going after the man in black? How fast of a sharpshooter is this gunslinger? And I could go on and on. You want people to not only know certain facts from the very beginning, but you also want them to start asking questions. Why is this person there? What is he after? So on and so forth. The more questions they start asking to themselves and the little tidbits that you keep throwing at them from time to time, the more they'll stay interested. First you got to reel the audience in, then you have to keep them there. And that's a real challenge. I can tell you, it's a super challenge. Okay? So, just listen to what I'm saying here, and you'll do better on your next production. Okay? Need to care more about the characters. You need to give a little background about each character and cause people to want to know more about them. When you give little tidbits, little unusual things about the characters themselves, then people want to care, they want to know more about the characters, especially if you make the characters people that they really want to know. Man, you got them. Okay? Okay? Alright. When you had this first character, he was distressed about people being late, but then he becomes suddenly ultra calm once they show up. No. He should be thankful that they finally arrived, but then he should also then share his distress about them being late with them. He doesn't have to be mean about it, but he could share his distress, and they could then kind of explain why they ended up being late in the first place. One of the things I noticed in the first part of this whole thing was you had some audio problems. I had to really crank up the volume to hear anything that any of the characters were saying. And I found this through parts 1, 2, and 3. So, need to speak a little closer to the video camera, or get yourself a microphone and hook that up. Somehow get it to the point where we can actually hear what the characters are saying. Okay? And I found that in The Evil Mattress 2 Part 1, your sound was way too soft until 3.29. It was 3 minutes and 29 seconds. Okay? More dramatization and drinking. Need to almost take like a swig. See? That's the kind of dramatization I'm talking about. Gotta give it that. See how much dramatization there is? That gets people's attention. Okay? Alright. Your second character, he was wearing a hat and dice earrings. He kind of reminded me of a slick gambler. You know, a kind of a sleight of hand type of person. Somebody you wouldn't exactly trust right off the bat. That's characterization right there. Needed to emphasize that. Okay. Less hesitation at the 5.16 mark of your part one of this presentation. Put some melodrama in there. Make it a little more melodramatic. Let me tell you something. The more melodrama you put in there, the more likely they'll continue to watch. And then you bring this third character in here, and my first thought is, why do I even care that this third character is there? Okay? So, when you deal with the third character, one of the things that I noticed you were saying is kind of a sentence, and then you were saying the time is. Don't say the time is. Instead, say which, incidentally, the time is. That way, it flows smoother through the whole script. So you're saying da 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 da, and then you say which, incidentally, it is now, so on and so forth. And that way, it flows better. Okay, we want this to be like a flowing river. We want this to be like a raging river that flows so quick, so powerfully that people feel like that they're about to go off a cliff. Alright? And when you're doing a scene with a clock, know where it is and let the audience see the clock just as much as you. Okay? And it doesn't matter if the clock's the right time or not. It just make sure that they can see the clock just as much as you can. Okay, the third character should have a deeper and more authoritative voice. Alright? And your first character should be a smart aleck. I mean, you're talking about Ferris Bueller here. He really should be a smart aleck about things. Okay? And you had too long a conversation about death. Just kind of establish your main points and get on with it. Your third character should have been more cocky. That really brings out that personality. You know, I survived the bed, you ding dong. All right, so I got the authority here. All right. Now the third character's wife, she's dead, and you're not terribly distressed about it. No. That's out of character, man. Say, I'm infuriated. That bed ate my wife. Now I'm gonna go after her with everything I've got. See, that's character right there. Okay. And when we got into part 2 of this presentation, we had more audio problems. I was still having a difficult time hearing what was going on. Your camera is too low. We still need to see more of that facial expression. The more facial expression you got on this thing, the better off you're going to be. Okay, and then you never really quite answered the question why I don't know which character it was, but somebody bought that house. You never really answered the questions why they bought the house in the first place. You know, what was the interesting feature or features that they saw in the house that caused them to buy it in the first place? That causes people to be interested. I did like the scrutiny that you did on the bed. That was cool. But you were taking too much time scrutinizing the bed. You just take a couple of minutes, scrutinize, study it, and then go on with whatever. Okay? If you're trying to make a point that the bed attacks only at a certain time, like in Gremlins, when the characters couldn't eat after midnight, make it clear. Say, okay, this bed will do nothing until so-and-so time, and that way you can build up the anticipation of this bed going to an attack. Alright? So, Okay. So basically, when you're talking about the bed's going to attack a certain time, build up the anticipation for that. Say, hey man, I see that clock. It's getting close. This bed's going to attack at any moment. Boom. Now you got your audience. Now they want to see it. They want to see this bed attacking because now they're thinking about it. They're wanting it, and they'll get it. All right. So hopefully that will help you in further productions. Remember, you want to have characters with real characterization, with real dramatization, and more importantly, you want to make the characters so interesting that people want to know them, and then you want to build up the anticipation to that final piece of, oh my word, look at the bed, it's attacking! Then you've got it. Alright, I hope that helped you out. I would love to help you out further. You have it right here. It was just really hard for me to keep my attention on what you were trying to do because you didn't build up any anticipation. You didn't cause me to want know these characters as well as, you know. So more dramatization, more. Don't tell everything right off the bat. That's something even I made. I've had some manuscripts myself. I've made the same mistake. Don't tell them everything at once. Cause your readers or cause your viewers to start asking questions. Why is this person this way? What happened in his life that caused him to be cocky or have an anger management problem or something like that? So that gets their attention and keeps it. You want your audience to continually ask questions even though they reveal... the more information you reveal, the more they want to know. That's what I'm trying to say. You put a tidbit here and a tidbit there, and eventually they want to know more and more and more. And the longer you got them on that, the better off you're going to be. Okay, so anyway, I wanted to congratulate you. It was a well-done effort. The thing is, when you're doing something like this, when you have somebody like me telling you some of the things that you need to do, you're learning. And learning's very important. The more you learn, the better your productions will be, and the more people will want to watch you. Okay, so hopefully you got a lot out of this. It was a very interesting production. Nice that it was in black and white. Do your best to fix the audio problems. I know that's quite a challenge. I'm running a 7 megapixel digital camera myself, so well, 7. Now it's 12. Sorry, 12 megapixel. So I know how much audio can be somewhat of a challenge. So keep up the good work. Don't be discouraged. I'm telling you things that will make the next presentation better than this one. And let me tell you something. One of these days you're going to hit it on the nose. You're going to have thousands of views. And people are going to really want to watch you. They're going to be so mesmerized with you that they won't want to turn away. And that's what we want to get you at. So, hopefully, you got what you needed out of this presentation. I will tell you more in a future video. I'm excited you did this. Thank you very much for submitting this to me. It was a real joy sitting here and figure out what you needed to do and to help you get better at this. This is just one of those practice makes perfect. If you hadn't done this, I couldn't have told you what I did, and therefore you couldn't get better. And that's what we want you to do. We want you to improve. Okay? So, don't be discouraged. Keep right on doing the work. I'll tell you what I can, and hopefully, in the future, you will make such spectacular presentations that nobody will want to turn away. And shoot, I have no problem helping you do that. I want you to reach your goal. I really do. I wouldn't tell you these things if I didn't want you to reach your goal. Mere fact of the matter is, you got me to watch this, and you got me to give you feedback on this. That's quite a monumental achievement. There are some people in the world that wouldn't have thought twice about watching something like this. But I said, you know what? This guy's worth it, and I'm going to do it. So there you have it. All the things that hopefully will make your next presentation even better than this one. Alright, so congratulations on winning my video response wars. Thank you for the presentation. It was very interesting, to say the very least, and it gave me motivation to give you motivation to continue on. Now you'll take these improvements and make something so spectacular that even I won't want to turn away. And I tell you what, you do that, you are a success. So, keep up the good work. Don't stop. We'll hit it on the nose very soon. And for the rest of my YouTube audience, I encourage everybody to try to do something like this. It's very interesting to see this kind of stuff. I will be watching for everybody's videos, so stay tuned.